Welcome to W4ORS Ham Shack, and I thought I'd start a series of videos doing some of the projects that I conduct here on the bench in the W4ORS Ham Shack. I've been watching many YouTube clips over the years, and they've always been very helpful, so I figured I would want to give back and contribute, so hopefully this will be something that will help. Today I've got a Kenwood TS-590S, and the symptom I've been having with this particular radio is on the higher end of HF, particularly 20 meters, 10 meters, 15 meters. Occasionally I'll notice that the frequency is off. It will be off frequency when I try to transmit, and I listen to myself on an SDR. And I got to reading about it, and come to find out, on the Kenwood, it was kind of a known issue, and there is an optional SO-3 TCXO part of the board. You can see right here, I'm kind of pointing with my finger here. So there's actually a board that's already attached, and that's going to come out because I ordered a whole new board. Typically, normally you would actually order the part itself and you'd solder it right here. But I went ahead and just ordered the whole thing. So I've got the circuit board with the component already attached and soldered. So I don't have to worry about any of that. Matter of fact, here it is. I'll hold it up so you can see it. And I ordered this off of eBay. It came from a Chinese vendor, but it was one that had a lot of good reviews. And it came actually relatively quick, within a couple of weeks. That is a 15.6 oscillator filter, and it's got a trimmer pod at the very top. It's got a piece of tape over it. We may not have to adjust it because it's already been factory adjusted, so we'll see. We can try to zero beat it here in a minute, but you can see there's a 4-pin power connector for it, and it's already been soldered. Looks like they did a decent job soldering everything together. So all you got to do is plug and play, baby. You just pop the old one off, put the new one in, and then I'll do some zero beating. So let's look at the manual in respect to this. This is on page 71. SO-3 TCXO, and basically it's telling you that you've got to remove the rear cover, which I did, locate it, which I just showed you exactly where it's at. You got to remove the PCB board, which is the TCXO board, which I just showed you. Then in this case, they're wanting you to solder a new component in, but like I say, we just got the whole circuit board, so we just got to swap it, so no soldering. And we will have to make some adjustments to the jumpers. It says move C903 and C904 as shown. So let's see where that is. It's probably going to be, it's going to be hard to get the camera on that. I'm thinking that's, let's see if I can adjust my light here so I can see it a little better. Yeah, there's 904 right there next to the power adapter, and then there's 903. Okay, so both of those are shorted. So I'm just going to move that over, keep the pins on there, and just move it over one so it stays on there, but it doesn't short it out. So we'll do that after we put the PCB on. Then we got to do some zero beating. So you want to make sure that you've got an antenna connected. Obviously, you want to make sure you got power connected to the radio, and we want to tune to WWV. I understand this is upside down, but you want to go to WWV 10 megahertz. You want to put it in CW mode, and you want to make sure that you lock it down so that if I bump this knob, it doesn't get knocked off frequency. And we also want to go in here on menu 34. And let me just consult the manual here. Yeah, menu 34, change that RX pitch to 800 megahertz. which I've already done. So, okay. Already done that. So that was 34, and I just rotated the knob here to get this to 800, okay? So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this board off. I'm gonna remove that screw, pop this off, put the new board on, put the screw back on, and then put the power plug on, and I'll come back. And just real quick, before I mention go forward here, I did power off the unit when I changed out that board. So I've got the board changed out now, and it was pretty easy to do. Put the power cord back in there. I'm gonna go in here now with some needle nose and adjust those two jumpers. These are the jumpers right here that I'm pointing at. And all I'm gonna do is pull those up, move them over one, so that way we keep it on the board in case we need to go back and short those again. We don't lose them, okay? All right, folks, so just to recap, we got the board in place, got the jumpers set. I let it sit for about 30 minutes, and I'm about ready to power up. Before I do that, on the back of the Kenwood, there is a key port, and you want to plug in a 3.5 millimeter jack to that port because we need to send a tone, a side tone, and the way to send a side tone would be through a straight key, not the paddle, but the straight key. So what I'm simply going to do is and there's my ICOM 756 in the background. So the straight key uses the tip and not the ring, but the shield. So the tip and the shield are your, when you short those out, that's when you get the side tone. So I'm just going to use some jumpers, and I don't have time to build a switch or anything like that. I'm just going to use some jumpers and just jump that when I'm ready to produce the side tone, okay? So a couple other things I want to talk about too is just remember in your menu settings, you want to keep this on 800 kilohertz. I think I said megahertz earlier, but it's 800 kilohertz for your side tone. And that is in menu number 34, okay? Also, I would go down to menu number 4. Again, I realize this is upside down because the radio's upside down. Change your side tone to 6 on the volume level, and that will give you enough tone that you can hear what's going on when we try to zero beat this, okay? So we're going to leave this on 10 megahertz CW. Turn up the volume. Hear that tone right there? That's what we should be hearing when I introduce and produce the 800 kilohertz side tone. I should hear that, okay? So let me see what we get. So I'm going to introduce the side tone. All right. And notice it's warbling. You notice that? It's not perfectly lined up. Now I can adjust the VFO. It sounds like it's really close on 10, right straight on 10. If it's off, it's not off much. So what I'm going to have to do is I took off the foil on the oscillator to get access to this little adjustment right here, okay? And I'm going to use my adjusting tool, which is non-conductive, and I'm going to go in there and just barely turn that left and right a little bit until I can get that zero beated, okay? I'm going to work on that now, and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I think I've got it zero beaded. Took me a little while to get my tool in there to get it to work, but finally got it in there and was able to adjust that trimmer. And you can hear it now. It's pretty much on frequency. When I disconnect and reconnect the key, I'm not really telling. I just disconnected it. Now I've connected it back on. You can't really tell much difference. So I've got that pretty much zero beaded. I like that. We're going to lock it down and put the case back on. All right, so I got the Kenwood all buttoned back up. I am now back in the main W4 ORS ham shack in the studio here. And I just completed a test transmission on 40 meters on 7220. It's about noon Central Time in early October. The band's in really good shape. I went to an SDR. I just asked if the frequency was in use, and I recorded it so I can hear my transmission and try to determine if I'm off frequency or not. So let's play that back. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Here is Whiskey 4, Oscar, Romeo, Sierra, W4ORS. And just judging, I've got my headphones on. That sounds pretty good. I can't really detect that that's off frequency here, and I think I do it a second time here, so let's listen to that. Is the frequency in use? Is the frequency in use? Here is Whiskey 4, Oscar, Romeo, Sierra, W4ORS. Okay, so yeah, in conclusion, I think everything is zero beaded. I'm happy, I'm satisfied with the turnout of this project. I'm going to leave everything as is, and we'll get back on the air and start using the Kenwood again, and hopefully we won't have any more problems with it drifting off frequency there. So appreciate you watching the YouTube channel here. Please like and subscribe. I will be adding more content as we go forward, and I'll be dressing things up with some editing techniques. So this is just kind of to get things going. So we'll continue to maintain content as we go forward, and hopefully things will start to improve. But thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.